The Los Angeles Lakers are back, and this time, they look terrifying. After a wild offseason, they've built a squad that's bigger, tougher, and deeper than before. Luka Dončić has shown up in the best shape of his career. LeBron James, now in his 40s and still elite, is continuing to defy father time. And now, they've surrounded them with defensive grit, rim protection, and shooting. Yes, this isn't the same Lakers team that ran out of gas last year. This one looks scary. When you look at the Los Angeles Lakers of 2026, there's no escaping the gravitational pull of their new core, Luka Dončić and LeBron James, two of the most gifted playmakers the game has ever seen, sharing the same floor, wearing the same colors, and carrying the weight of one of basketball's most storied franchises. It sounds like something out of a fantasy lineup, but this is the reality. And the truth is, this pairing is what makes the Lakers so scary. For years, the Lakers tried to squeeze every drop out of the LeBron-Anthony Davis duo. And while that tandem brought the city a championship in 2020, the cracks eventually showed. Injuries, depth issues, the inability to keep both stars healthy for a full postseason run. The Lakers front office could have doubled down, hoping for one more miracle. Instead, they reset the chessboard in the boldest way possible, trading for Luka Dončić, the heir apparent, the future face of the league. But Luka's first months in Los Angeles didn't look like the coronation many expected. He looked out of rhythm. He looked heavy. At times, he even looked frustrated. The same criticisms that haunted him in Dallas, conditioning, focus, leadership, followed him to Hollywood. Even so, his off year still meant putting up numbers most players could only dream of. 28.2 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 7.5 assists over 28 games in a Lakers jersey. That's the kind of baseline production that makes you realize how high his ceiling really is. And this offseason, Luka seemed to understand the assignment. The narrative shifted. The photographs told the story. A leaner, quicker, more locked in, Dončić emerged. Reports of long-distance runs, interval training, diet overhauls, and relentless conditioning sessions filled the news cycle. For the first time in his career, Luka didn't just work on his bag of tricks, the step back, the passes, the angles. He worked on his body. And now, the Lakers don't just have a superstar, they have a superstar ready to reach his absolute prime. Then there's LeBron, turning 41, still All-NBA, still orchestrating games like a chess master. He's no longer the full-time engine, but he doesn't need to be. The burden has shifted, the torch is half passed, yet LeBron remains the steadying force, the voice, the presence that turns talent into belief. Together, Luka and LeBron represent two different timelines colliding. One legend defying time, one generational star rewriting his story. And when you put them together in purple and gold, that's not just dangerous, that's frightening. Championship teams are never built on star power alone. Even in a league driven by its biggest names, the banners hanging from Staples, now Crypto.com Arena, tell a different story. Magic had Worthy and Kareem. Kobe had Shaq, then Powell. LeBron had AD. The stars lead, but it's the reinforcements who make them unstoppable. And for the 2026 Lakers, the supporting cast isn't just an afterthought. It's the glue that turns a two-man core into a contender. The first big piece of that puzzle was Marcus Smart. 3 years removed from winning Defensive Player of the Year, Smart has been through the highs and the lows. Injuries slowed him, new teams tried to fit him, and for a while, he looked like a player on the decline. But then came his short stint with the Wizards, a flash of the Marcus Smart people remembered. Tough, physical, relentless. In just 15 games, he posted the best shooting stretch of his career, knocking down 39% from deep while showing he could still bring chaos on defense. For the Lakers, Smart isn't just a guard. He's the solution to a problem that haunted them last year, the lack of a true point-of-attack defender. When Luka and LeBron are handling the offense, you need someone who can hound the league's top guards to make Shai Gilgeous-Alexander work, pressure stars off the ball, and take the fight to whoever's best at that moment. That's Marcus Smart, a fighter, a tone setter, the kind of guy who makes a playoff series tilt because the other team's best guard suddenly has no room to breathe. Then came Deandre Ayton. If Smart brings toughness on the perimeter, Ayton is the answer inside. The Lakers' biggest flaw after trading Anthony Davis was obvious. No size, no rim protection, no anchor in the paint. The Timberwolves exposed it brutally in the first round. Enter Ayton, 7 feet with a 7'6" wingspan, a vertical that can snatch lobs out of the sky, and a mid-range jumper soft enough to punish sagging defenses. Ayton isn't the superstar Phoenix once imagined, but here's the thing, he doesn't need to be. He just needs to do the basics with consistency. Set hard screens, finish plays, Luka creates, protect the rim, and crash the boards. The tools have never been the question. It's been about effort. And in Los Angeles, on a roster built for contention, the motivation to prove himself is finally there. The Lakers also quietly grabbed Jake LaRavia, and if you blink, you might miss how important that is. He's not the kind of name that splashes across headlines, but his fit is perfect. Last season with the Kings, he shot over 42% from deep, and more importantly, he drilled nearly 46% of his wide-open looks. Playing alongside Luka and LeBron, wide-open threes aren't a luxury, they're guaranteed. LaRavia's role isn't to create, it's to punish defenses for collapsing. And if he keeps hitting shots at that clip, he becomes exactly the 3-and-D wing the Lakers were missing after losing Dorian Finney-Smith. And finally, there's Ado Thero, the rookie with raw athleticism and boundless energy. He's not expected to carry a load right away, but he's the kind of young piece who can swing momentum in spurts. At 6 feet 8 inches with length and motor, he's a slasher, a defender, a hustler. He may start in the G League, but don't be surprised if by mid-season he's earning minutes by flying around, grabbing offensive boards, and finishing fast breaks with thunderous dunks. Together, these reinforcements do more than just fill out a roster. They cover holes that destroyed the Lakers last year. They add grit, depth, and balance. And in a conference where matchups are everything, having this kind of versatility suddenly makes the Lakers look like a team nobody wants to see in April. The Western Conference has always been a gauntlet, but in 2026 it feels downright cruel. Every night is a war. Denver, with Jokic still orchestrating basketball like a savant. Minnesota, towering with Gobert and Edwards. Houston, suddenly the NBA's most dangerous young juggernaut. Oklahoma City, young and fearless behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren. Sacramento, still scrappy, still fast, still annoying to play against. The West isn't just loaded, it's suffocating. And yet this is the battlefield the Lakers are walking into. On paper, that should terrify them, but in reality, it's the other way around. Because this time, the Lakers are built for the nightmare. Take Denver, the reigning yardstick of the West. Nikola Jokic remains unstoppable, but what hurt the Lakers most in their previous matchups wasn't Jokic's brilliance. It was Jamal Murray, torching their guards, and Aaron Gordon bullying mismatches. Now, with Marcus Smart chasing Murray and Ayton battling Jokic in the paint, LeBron and Luka can focus on offense without being drained on defense. Suddenly, the Nuggets don't look like the unsolvable riddle they once were. Then there's Minnesota. Last year's playoffs made one thing clear. Without size, the Lakers couldn't hang. Gobert erased their drives, and Edwards simply walked into the paint whenever he wanted. But this year, Ayton adds a 7-foot wall. Thero provides length and hustle, and LaRavia's shooting forces Minnesota's bigs to stay honest. Add Luka's improved conditioning and LeBron's playoff experience, and the Wolves go from a nightmare matchup to just another test. Houston, though, might be the most terrifying of all. They're young, explosive, and now have Kevin Durant on top of Amen Thompson and Schengen. But here's where the Lakers' depth shines. Durant may score, but Smart, Thero, and even LaRavia are bodies to throw at Houston's wings. Luka and LeBron can slow the pace, forcing the Rockets to play half-court basketball, where mistakes are magnified and experience matters. In a 7-game series, youth can dazzle, but veterans break you down, possession by possession. And let's not forget Oklahoma City. They are patient killers, with SGA slicing defenses apart and Chet controlling both ends of the floor. The difference this year? Luka is finally conditioned enough to trade blow for blow with Shai in crunch time. And when possessions slow down in the postseason, LeBron remains the league's most trusted closer. Every contender in the West has its weapons, but the Lakers now have answers. They've got size to battle the trees of Minnesota. They've got perimeter defense to slow Murray and Shai. They've got shooting to space the floor against Houston. They've got depth that keeps them afloat, even if foul trouble hits. That's what makes this version of the Lakers so scary. They're not just stars. They're not just a brand. They're a matchup problem for everyone. Because in the nightmare that is the Western Conference, the scariest thing isn't the Wolves, the Nuggets, or the Rockets. The scariest thing is realizing the Lakers finally built a team ready to survive all of them.
Up for Dalton, connect all the way. Love, down, LeBron!
Now, every time you think the story of LeBron James is finished, he finds a way to turn the page. By 2026, he should have been a footnote, still respected, but no longer feared. After all, the man is almost 41 years old. In basketball years, that's ancient. Yet when you watch him on the court today, it doesn't feel like a farewell tour. It feels like another chapter in a career that keeps rewriting the limits of human longevity in sports. And here's what makes this Lakers team terrifying. They aren't just playing with LeBron James the player. They're playing with LeBron James, the legacy. He doesn't have to play 38 minutes anymore. He doesn't have to carry the offense every night. Luka is there for that. Ayton can handle the bruising battles. Smart can defend the point guards. LaRavia can space the floor. The burden that once crushed seasons has been lifted. What's left is a version of LeBron who can pick his moments with surgical precision. He doesn't have to be 2013 Miami LeBron. He just has to be 2026 LeBron. Smarter, sharper, deadlier in bursts. And those bursts, they're still devastating.
When he's contested, he hasn't been very good.
A chase down block in the fourth quarter. A deep three to silence a road crowd. A no-look dime to Luka in transition. He doesn't do it every play anymore, but he doesn't need to. When he does, it's enough to remind the entire league that he's still one of the most dangerous men alive with a basketball in his hands. But the real terror is psychological. LeBron isn't just another veteran. He's a four-time champion, the league's all-time leading scorer, the face of 2 decades of NBA basketball. Opponents don't just play against his skills, they play against his aura. Young teams like Houston and OKC can run, jump, and shoot, but can they stand across from LeBron James in a Game 7 with the season on the line? History says no. Inside the Lakers locker room, LeBron's presence is even more powerful. Luka, for all his brilliance, is still searching for his championship breakthrough. Ayton has battled questions about consistency his whole career. Smart is hungry to prove he still belongs at the highest level. LeBron ties it all together. And maybe that's the scariest part of all. LeBron has nothing left to prove. His legacy is secure, but this twilight run, this attempt to squeeze one more banner out of a retooled Lakers squad, isn't about proving something to critics. It's about rewriting the idea of what's possible. It's about showing that even in his 40s, greatness doesn't fade. For opponents, that's a nightmare, because when LeBron James isn't chasing ghosts anymore, he's just playing free, smart, and ruthless. And when he's surrounded by the right pieces, as he finally is again in 2026, the rest of the league can only watch in fear. The Lakers don't just have a star, they have a living legend, still burning, still hungry, still terrifying. And that legacy factor could be the edge that tips the balance of the entire Western Conference. The 2026 Lakers are scary, not because of hype or superstardom alone. They're scary because they are a complete puzzle, a team that can attack from every angle and adapt to every threat. Yes, health remains the wild card. LeBron is getting old. Ayton has battled injuries. Smart has a history of limited availability. Chemistry, too, can't be taken for granted. A collection of talented individuals doesn't always become a cohesive team. But when it works, when everyone shows up in sync, the Lakers aren't just good. They're terrifying. They have the potential to strike fear into any opponent, to push teams to their breaking point, and to make a run that few would dare predict. Luka and LeBron give them star power and firepower. Smart, Ayton, LaRavia, and Thero give them depth, defense, and versatility. Together, they form a squad that can push any Western Conference team to the edge and survive. This isn't just another Lakers season. This is a calculated, fearless bid to terrify the competition, a roster built for maximum impact, and a pairing of 2 generational talents ready to dominate. The pieces are here, the timing is perfect, and the rest of the league, they should be very, very afraid.